Boys and girls of every age, would you like to see something strange?
I hate us so much.
It's Halloween, we had to hit them with it.
Oh my god. Everyone, spooky friends, welcome to a very special bonus episode of Crips and Corks, Halloween edition. I'm your host, your ghost host, DJ, here with my co-ghost host,
Paul, as usual.
So, Paul, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, the best time of the year.
Or Samhain, if you celebrate that.
Yep, Samhain. Yep, exactly.
What are you dressed up as?
So I am currently dressed up as Superman, which if you want to see our costumes, go on over to our Instagram.
You're not Superman. You are
the sluttiest Superman you've ever seen in your life. But, you I've got to pull men somehow,
This is very true.
Then what are you dressed up as, Maya?
I am an androgynous vampire.
Very nice.
I am very hot. I feel like a Vienna sausage because this corset is...
Oh my god.
I can't breathe. I can't relax. I cannot wait to take this off.
Yeah, blood isn't the only thing you're sucking this season.
You may not be seeing this in the pictures. Because I may have to change that quickly after we're done.
Oh my gosh. But like I said before, blood isn't the only thing you're sucking this season.
Yeah, I'm sucking in my gut.
Oh my gosh. Not that.
We will see about other things later.
Jesus. So, DJ, tell me why you like Halloween.
See, I always loved dressing up and pretend as a kid. Like, I eventually went to school for theater, but like, I love dressing up in costume. Always have been, and I really love the witchiness of Samhain. When I was little, like 10, quite a few years in a row, I went as a witch.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, who doesn't love candy?
Right, exactly.
And plus, like, it was my idea to do the supernatural podcast, paranormal podcast.
It was.
So, like, I just love spooky things, and, like, this brings all the spookiness together.
Yeah, I mean, all of this is your doing. Crips and Quirks is your baby and your idea. No.
I've got the baby weight to prove it.
Oh my gosh.
Paul, why do you love Halloween?
Well, growing up, I was always into, like, horror movies and supernatural shows. I would always watch, like, the classic horror movies growing up with my mom, like Halloween, Friday the 13th, just the classic movies. And we would also watch, like, Ghost Adventures. So I've always been interested in the paranormal from, like, the beginning, and that kind of just like ties into Halloween perfectly, because Halloween's all about the paranormal and the spooky and the weird and like all that stuff. So it's just the one time of year that you can be spooky and be interested in that kind of thing without like being that weird kid who's like into ghosts and horror and the supernatural. And also, like, on top of that, like you said, dressing up is like so much fun. Like, I mean, I'm a whole drag queen, so, like, I know all about dressing up. So, like, being, like, a young kid where it wasn't, like, always socially acceptable to dress up as I wanted to be, Halloween was the one time of year you can dress up and be that thing you want to be,
Yeah.
And I think that's why gay people love Halloween so much.
It's gay Christmas.
Exactly. Halloween is gay Christmas. That's the one time of the year we can, like, dress up and be how we want to be and not be looked at sideways.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry. I did not get the memo that we were supposed to be sexy for this. I've got so much going on here.
It's fine. I'm like, we're the different spectrums of costumes. I'm like the costume you see in Mean Girls. Oh my god, you're the red-haired one. What's her name? Catty in Mean Girls?
Catty, and she shows up like as the like zombie bride. I actually thought about doing something like that because we're actually recording this the Saturday before Halloween and we're going out after this.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeah, this is definitely coming off for that. I'm gonna go as like sexy astronaut or something.
Right. I'm the sexy one, and you're the one who takes Halloween very literally.
Yeah. Oh no, I have to pee.
Ooh.
I can't pee.
And it's gonna have to wait.
It's gonna have to wait because not only are we recording, but I'm in like 6 layers
of tights. Oh,
I have 2 layers of like hosiery on, and then this corset, which it was a miracle. It was the grace of God, y'all, that it zipped.
oh my god.
Ask Paul, he had to do the zipping. It was like grace of God shit.
But you know, we got it zipped up. She's corseted, and she's snatched for the gods.
I am snatched for the god. Mother would be very proud. Speaking of snatched, what are we drinking today, Paul?
So I went pretty basic with today's spooky pairing for this episode. What I got for us today, and I know DJ usually picks, but it was my turn to pick this time. So I got us actually a pumpkin spice cream liqueur that's made by the Pennsylvania Dutch. Now, this is like a classic Pennsylvania, like I'm sure it's in other states around this region, but like the Pennsylvania Dutch is a classic drink making company in this area. Yeah. They make the eggnog. They have this pumpkin spice cream
they have
liqueur.
A peppermint one too, or on Christmas with the eggnog.
They do, and you know all their products. They taste so good. It's just so classic around the holiday season.
I see.
And I know the pumpkin spice. It's giving Christian girl autumn, but you know. 'Tis the season, you know, we're taking a break from the spooky wines and doing something kind of nice, something kind of basic.
All right.
And there's no cork to pop this episode, so
we'll just do the crack.
Oh yeah, I'll do the crack. We're just cracking it, so.
Okay, decent.
Period. Crack. And I'll do the pour, and we're pouring it into shot glasses since it's
do you have a second shot glass?
Ooh, no, go grab yourself a good.
No, just pour it in the wine glass.
Okay, I'll pour it in the wine glass. There you are.
Now, are we gonna do this as a shot?
Yeah.
Then the hat has to come off. Because I'm wearing like a top hat.
Yeah, it's a cute top hat.
It's a velvet top hat with like lace and veiling.
It's very steampunk-esque without...
It's not steampunk, it's very goth.
Goth. You're right, because it doesn't have the mechanical things to be steampunk.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a shot glass because
you can
see the line from the Beast of Gévaudan in there.
Right.
Shit. What? I just told them an upcoming episode.
Oh, it's fine. What can you do? You know? You guys got a sneak peek and you didn't even ask for one. You know? Happens to the best of us.
Everyone is as alcoholic as I am and they don't remember these kinds of things.
That pour wasn't as satisfying.
No, but I did get a considerable amount in there, which I love.
All right. Cheers to the Halloween season. Ooh. Nice.
Delightful.
Ooh, you can...
Spicy.
Ooh, but yep, you're right. They said spice. Girl, what?
They said pumpkin spice.
Emphasis on the spice. But that's good. You put that in your coffee in the morning, girl, you're gonna have a good start to your day, okay? I don't know what other beverage you could put that in. I drink it straight myself, because that's just who I am as a person. Yeah. I don't drink coffee, but...
Yeah, or like it is a liqueur. You could sip that with after dinner drinks.
Yeah, put it in some ice. Get up in the gig.
Yeah, it's like rum chata.
Awesome.
Do you know what? That would taste good in hot chocolate.
Oh, that would taste good in hot chocolate.
Like a pumpkin spice hot chocolate, boozy hot chocolate.
Ooh, yeah, that would be nice.
Now, Paul, you don't normally like hot beverages, but do you like hot chocolate?
I do not like hot chocolate. Okay. I hate like he said, I hate warm beverages, and hot chocolate is one of those warm beverages I hate.
Do you drink chocolate milk?
No, I try to stay away from milk and dairy. I know this.
I also do not drink chocolate milk, but I will do hot chocolate.
Okay, nice.
All right. Oh, so where's the cap? So to figure out, so each of us have scary stories to tell you today. Paul has 2 short ones. I have 1 moderate length one. And to decide who is going to go first, we're going to spin the bottle.
Yeah, it's a classic game. We've all played spin the bottle before.
I want to make sure that's uptight.
All right, let's get this bottle spinning. Who's going first? Ooh, I guess that's closer to me.
Yeah, I would say that's you.
Awesome. So, I will go first. Alright, y'all. I found these scary stories on the internet, and you've probably heard them before, but these stories are kind of like classic, like everyone knows that, but they're still like so spooky. They get me every time. So, this first story is called The Cabin.
Ooh.
So, a hiker decided to go on a hike by himself, something he was not very used to. The whole day was normal, trees and bushes engulfing his surroundings. He enjoyed being outdoors in the mountains. Nothing seemed strange to him. That was until he was making his way back to his car. He figured an 8-hour hike was good enough. The sky was already getting dark, and he needed to get back fast. What was odd was how much he didn't recognize the trail back. He began to panic. Night had already taken over, and all he had was a flashlight and no clue on how to get back. He knew it was already too late and too dangerous to keep going through the perilous forest. He began to worry that he would have no shelter for the night, when almost luckily enough, he stumbled across a broken down cabin. It was dark and seemed like no one had visited in years. But he knew it was the only place he could rest until daylight. Sorry, lost my spot. See, this is why DJ reads these things.
Yeah, then you were just clearing your throat from the cream liqueur.
See, this is why DJ does the reading and I react. But moving forward...
Yeah, I realize that I'm just sitting here quietly listening, giving you your time. Should I be reacting?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, you can if you want, but
Yeah,
whatever.
you can react to mine, but that's because I have mine memorized.
Right. Okay. So, it was the only place where he could rest until daylight, especially since his flashlight was running out of battery. He knocked on the door a few times, but no one answered, so he let himself in where, strangely enough, a perfect bed fitted for one person awaited him in the center. He knew that if the owner came back, he could explain himself. He was sure that the owner wouldn't mind, or was probably even dead. Which, weird thing to assume, like, what? So he went ahead and got himself comfortable in bed. As he tried to sleep, he couldn't ignore the collection of paintings around the room. Portraits of strange-looking people all peering at him.
Were they clowns?
I am not sure. It doesn't really say. Each wearing a smile that sent chills up his spine. Not too long after this, his exhaustion from the hike got the best of him, and he was able to ignore the faces and fall asleep. The next morning, he got up early and was shocked to see that there were no paintings around the room, but windows.
Oh, no, no,
Yeah?
no.
So they were people looking at him.
No, and this is the point where, Paul, you go, man up, you have a paranormal podcast, but no!
Exactly. The other spooky thing is, why is the bed in the center of the room? If you're sleeping with your bed in the center of the room, get checked out. That's freaking weird. Okay. All right.
Mommy.
Now that I've spooked you with that one, I have one more spooky little short story for you. No.
Damn it.
So, this next one is titled, Who's in My Bed?
Oh, Jesus.
Which I frequently ask myself on a Sunday morning. But besides the point... Besides the point. So, who's in my bed? A father went to say goodnight to his 7-year-old son, very well knowing that if he didn't, his son would have trouble sleeping. It was a nightly routine between them. He entered the dimly lit room where his son waited under his blanket. With the first glance, the father could tell there was something unusual about his son tonight, but couldn't put his finger on it. He looked the same, but had a grin that drew from ear to ear. You okay? You okay, buddy? The father asked. The son nodded, still with the grin, before saying, Daddy, check for monsters under my bed.
No.
The father chuckled a bit before getting on his knees to check, only to satisfy his son. There, under the bed, pale and afraid, was his son, his real son. He whispered, Daddy, there's someone on my bed.
I hate you so much.
Isn't that one spooky?
I hate you so
Because
much.
when you're looking under the bed, you're in a vulnerable position too, right? So
have
you're
goosebumps.
crouched down, right? That one's a creepy one. One of my favorite short, scary stories.
Oh,
You're gonna have nightmares tonight? No,
Yes, I am. Well,
you're
no,
not gonna
I'm
be.
gonna be too drunk to have nightmares tonight. I didn't say that.
You're not gonna be looking under any beds anytime
I'm just not gonna
soon.
sleep. I'm just gonna like go to an after hours club and rave until dawn.
Party.
All right, I guess it's my turn.
Yeah,
It's so weird to like be sharing the limelight with you.
I know.
Not like the limelight, but like the telling stories with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, mine does not have a name because mine's actually a true story.
Okay, flex.
This actually happened to my mother. So my mother didn't go to college. Right out of high school, she moved out of state. And she ended up in Florida. And she worked in like a convenience store. And she ended up living with her boss, who we're going to call Marie.
Mm-hmm.
And now Marie was a bit odd. She was very spiritual, some would say witchy. And in the convenience store all the time, Marie would say to people, you're going to win on this lottery ticket. And the person would come in a couple days later and be like, I did win on this lottery ticket.
Whoa.
And so, like, we have that predilection towards something,
Mm-hmm.
higher abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my uncle, David, and his two friends, Slice and TJ, came down with him to visit my mother. And so they come over to the house and they're sitting around talking. And as normally happens with kids in their early 20s, they get bored pretty quickly. And Marie says, oh, well, do y'all want to talk to some spirits? And they go, okay, not really like believing it. And Marie's like, all right, everyone get in the car. And they begin going up to the car. And as they're going at the door, Marie turns to my mother and says, get the crucifix and the portrait of Christ.
Oh my gosh.
And so they go driving through the night. They lived in a very small rural town called Defuniak Springs. And they drive to a cemetery nearby. And they pull right into the gates. Because it's small. Like, it's a small old cemetery. Like, you can see the back of it from the entrance. So they just pull a couple feet in.
Mm-hmm.
And they all get out of the car, and my mother, David, TJ, and Slice all, like, they're leaning up or sitting on the front of the hood. And they put the picture of Jesus and the crucifix right behind them on the hood, so it's easy reachings.
Mm-hmm.
And Marie goes over to a tombstone that's very nearby to them. And out of her pocket, she pulls out a cigarette lighter and a tea candle. And for those of you who didn't know, a tea candle is one of those really little, like, cylindrical ones that you, like, put in, like, holiday displays.
Mm-hmm.
It's super small.
Mm-hmm.
And she sets it down on the top of the tombstone, and she whispers something, and then she lights it. And out of that little tea candle, which is probably only an inch tall, a 50-foot flame shoots up into the sky.
Wow.
And my mother, my uncle, and his two friends are just astounded. And the flame then shoots to the back of the cemetery. And it begins to fill the cemetery from the back up. And they're watching in horror as the entire cemetery is engulfed in flames. And in those flames, they can see figures.
Oh, no.
And Marie's starting to panic, and she yells, there's too many here. I need the crucifix and the portrait of Christ. And they all turn around, and they're gone.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
And so they're all panicking now. And so Marie says, we have to get out of here. We have to get out of here. This is out of control. And so they all jump into the car and they start it and they throw it into reverse and they manage to pull out just as the flames hit the gate of the cemetery and they all go out.
What?
And so they all go back to the house. It's more like a trailer, but.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sitting there in the living room they're sitting there in the living room trying to digest what happened. And then they hear clang, 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 clang. Clang, 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 clang. They had a bunch of metal utensils like tongs and spatulas and spoons hanging up against one wall in the kitchen. And they were being lifted off of the hooks and thrown against the other wall. And they're all trying to ignore it, but they see it. And my mother looks at my uncle and makes eye contact with him. And she blinks. And when she opens her eyes, she is on top of him, on the sofa, choking him. And she can't stop herself.
Oh, she was possessed.
Yes. It took Marie, Slice, and TJ an hour to pry her off of him.
Mm-hmm.
And Marie sent my uncle back into her bedroom with a shotgun and said, if Leslie enters that door, shoot and shoot to kill.
Mm-hmm.
And for the next several hours till daybreak, Marie had to perform an exorcism on my mother.
What the heck?
And for those of you who said this is a bunch of nonsense, my mother told me this story and she was deathly serious. Like, she was terrified of what happened. And until her dying day, she was terrified that something had remained in her and that there was some evil left in her and she was being punished for it. And to corroborate, after she died, and she never told me this story around my uncle. Mm-hmm. Nor around Slice, who is actually now my accountant.
Mm-hmm.
But once I was at a party with my uncle and Slice, because he is a family friend, and we're sitting around a bonfire, and I brought it up. Mm-hmm. And both of them got, and my uncle said, I don't want to talk about this. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we're talking around a bonfire, and you know how logs will like split and fall on one another? Mm-hmm. That happened, and a big shot of sparks went up. They both, that happened right after they said, like, we don't want to talk about this. Mm-hmm. And when it happened, both of them leapt out of their chair and screamed. I am convinced that it happened.
That's so wild. Oh my gosh.
And
not your mom being possessed.
Yeah, and like, I can't get any more details because my mother is dead and now my uncle's dead.
Right. Oh my gosh. I mean, you could try, but I don't think you want to do it.
I'm not going to Ouija board my mother to say, like, so tell me about the time you were possessed.
Right.
That's the easiest way for Zoso to come through.
Right, that's how you get possessed yourself.
Let me show you, bitch.
Oh my god, exactly. That's how you get possessed yourself, and that's not what we're doing in here on this day.
No way, no ma'am, no Pam, no peas and carrots.
Exactly.
So, Paul, I have one question for you.
Okay.
Smash or pass Jack Skellington?
See, I think you know the answer to this one.
I do.
Because
it's a hard smash, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. He's like tall and skinny. He kind of gives off a little bit of like Machine Gun Kelly vibes, and I'm here for that.
And you know, if he's a skeleton, you know he's got a hard boner.
I mean, he's hard all the time.
All he's got is bones, so you know that boner gotta be good.
Exactly. Oh, maybe not, though, because I more of a top, so that might not work out too well for me. So, yeah. That might not work out. I mean, I'm gonna smash it though, just to say I did. Just to say I did. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Smash or pass the Headless Horseman?
I'm gonna pass.
Wow.
Because one of my favorite things to do during romantic interludes is making out. How do you make out with someone who's headless?
You can make out with that pumpkin he carries.
No, because like the inside of a raw pumpkin really grosses me out.
Ooh, I bet it would feel good though.
See, with it being Halloween, my alt Twitter is just full of all of those videos.
Oh, the holiday videos. I could never get into those. Those ones are interesting.
Leave the poor fruit alone. Leave the poor fruit. Justice for pumpkins.
Honestly, justice for pumpkins. Honestly, though, but the Headless Horseman, he has enough money to have a horse. And there's something to be said for that these days.
I could have my own horse if I wanted.
Where are you going to put a horse?
I mean, that's, like I said, like that's part of the fees.
Oh, like the housing fee.
Yeah, the stabling.
Okay, yeah. So, Rich.
One of us was a horse girl growing up and one of us was not.
Yeah, I bet you can't guess which.
Surprisingly, it's the city boy.
That's true. I did grow up in the middle of nowhere, so it is kind of surprising. But, you know, whatever. What can you do?
I wonder if my sigh of release as I just took my jacket off came up on the audio.
Yo, I did try on that jacket, and it was a warm jacket.
It, like, if we don't do anything on Halloween night itself, and I end up just passing out candy, it will be great to sit outside of my house passing out candy.
Right.
I will wear a more conservative shirt.
See, I avoid trick-or-treaters on Halloween. Luckily, I live in an apartment where you can't get to my door, so I avoid that. And I live by a school, so there's always, like, there is definitely going to be trick-or-treaters, so I'm just glad they
What if I brought you a boo bag, though?
A boo bag?
A boo bag.
What's a boo bag?
You know, like, boo bag.
Girl, you're going to have to explain what it is.
Like if I brought you a little goodie bag for Halloween.
I mean, that'd be fine. I'm not handing out candy to people, though.
I know. I'm gonna be knocking on your door, and you'd be like, "No way, go away! I'm not home."
Right. I'm already that old man that's like, "Get off my lawn, you kids!" That's very my vibe all the time. I don't like children.
It's gonna be so fun when I grow up and have children of my own.
Yeah, I mean, I could
You're gonna
tolerate
shun me.
yours.
You're gonna shun me.
Probably.
You're gonna shun me till they turn 18, and then we can resume being friends.
Yeah, that's most likely what's going to happen.
What is that?
I
Why
think
did I have a whole? Never mind.
I think it's worth mentioning real quick, like you said before, Happy Samhain, where Halloween originated, addressing the roots of Halloween. That was actually a pagan holiday.
Yeah,
And Samhain.
all of our listeners who do celebrate, may it be a blessed night for you. For our listeners who celebrate Day of the Dead, may you have a wonderful Day of the Dead. May your ofrendas shine bright and be full.
Happy Wiccan New Year.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
Samhain was Wiccan New Year.
Yeah. So, like, the whole, like, Wiccan religion, it's like the wheel of the year, and Samhain is when it starts over.
Oh, I thought their New Year started with our New Year. I never knew that.
Yeah. Oh, watch I am wrong. Watch you're right. Watch I am wrong. Now you have me second guessing.
It's fine.
The amount of Wiccan books I read through high school, which, honestly, if you shouldn't be in high school listening to this, but one of the biggest mistakes I made was telling all my friends in a Christian, like, upbringing school that I was Wiccan now, because that automatically for them translated into Satanism, and then I was the devil worshiper.
Kids are awful. I was like one of the church kids when I was in high school. Like, I was out and gay, but like I also went to like the local culty church. And like when my mother died, the big rumor was that I had smothered her in her sleep.
Yeah, kids are awful and spread rumors. That's terrible. But, you know, I'm very glad it's Halloween and...
Happy Halloween. If you like to hand out candy, I hope you get lots of kids. If you don't like kids, then I hope you get no trick-or-treaters.
Exactly.
We hope that you watched Hocus Pocus 1,000 times and enjoyed all the scary movies and have all sorts of candy. And
thank you for tuning in to this short but special Halloween episode.
And tune back in on Sunday for our regular episodes. And until we see you again, keep your grips tight
and your corks loose.
Bye.